Okay, what is going on, CYPRX advanced YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. As always, if you're interested in learning about cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, foreign exchange, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. So much information to put out to you all today. It's probably going to take me a couple of different YouTube videos to talk about every single thing that I want to go over with you all. Man, please let me know if you all are vibing with this YouTube channel. This page is growing. The Twitter is growing. You guys, I'm telling you all right now, the realest price action analysis literally on this internet space. I have been putting out bullish and bearish targets that have been getting met to the T. Not to toot my own horn, I'm just trying to give you all a realistic perspective in this market. Coming from a trader who's been in this market for 6 years, I can stand by my word and say that 90% of individuals have no idea what they are talking about in this market via technical analysis and fundamentals, okay? And you all have to understand that. I don't even know where to get started at. Let's get started with XRP price action. In this video, we're going to cover XRP. We're going to cover some Casper. I'm going to read to you all some articles, and we're also going to go over some price analysis. Please make sure that you guys are saving yourselves by subscribing to this YouTube channel, okay? Following the technical analysis that I've been putting out to you all. Again, not financial advice. I'm just trying to save people's portfolios. I tweeted out the other day, 90% of all internet crypto influencers' portfolios are in the red right now because they don't know how to properly identify when it is actually time to pump capital into the market. Where are the moon boys at? Please save yourself and unfollow them. Okay, why? Because days ago, I tweeted out to you all this price analysis on XRP. If you scroll down on my Twitter and you go all the way down to April 2nd, let's go all the way down to April 2nd. Okay, April 2nd, we see here, so far so good. I posted this analysis. This is April 2nd. I told you guys 72.5 cents. Here's the analysis right here that I posted on the Twitter. One must understand how to properly accumulate at discounted prices. Guys, look at the analysis. All right, I posted this for the world to see. I posted YouTube videos for the world to see. How many of your bullish YouTube influencers on XRP failed to mention to you that XRP price could potentially pull back, and instead filled your head with a whole bunch of hopium telling you all that XRP was going to hit new all-time highs in April? Okay, you all, your portfolio is dwindling right now if you're one of those individuals that follows Moon Boy price predictions. Do not do that. You guys, here is the updated chart on XRP. You guys can see that those 72.5 cent regions came into fruition. Why were we targeting these general areas? Again, everything that we do here at CYPRX in the market is based off of logic and the ideology that the banking institutions move price action based off of where liquidity in the market lies. If you don't understand the ideology behind liquidity and where orders in the market lie, go back, watch previous YouTube videos, or consider joining the mentorship so that way you can properly understand how to accumulate cryptocurrencies in discounted prices. All right, look at this. I had mentioned to you guys in previous XRP videos, I guess I'm just going to start on the technical analysis now, but I had mentioned to you guys that we were building a nasty amount of trendline liquidity. We already know that institutional traders, whales in this market, they understand that retail traders only have access to baby information when it comes to trading this market via technical analysis, and that 90% of traders trade based off of trendline ideologies, support resistance methodologies, order block methods, all that crap. You have to understand that the banking institutions do not trade that way. They trade against that because they know that that is where the most amount of liquidity in the market lies. We can see here this trend line pattern on XRP was building and building and building all the way from the beginning of potentially March, right? We can even extend this all the way down and show you all that this is most likely where the banking institutions are headed. If we just extend that trend line out, we know that liquidity in the market lies underneath of all of these lows, okay? So where, before the market makers move price higher, are they going to go based off the ideology that before the market goes higher, and I've been attempting to teach you all this so many times, before the market goes higher, okay, before it goes higher, it must go lower first. Once it goes lower and grabs liquidity beneath previous market structure lows, it will then reverse market structure after grabbing that liquidity and then stem higher. And until the market makes this type of pattern, regardless if it's beautiful or not, or to the T or not, it has to do this. This is how the market makers move the market. Okay, and this is as above, so below. It does not matter if you're in sell positions or buy positions. If you're in sell positions, what is the market going to do? As above, so below, it's going to move higher before it moves lower. Okay, same analogy, as above, so below, it's going to move lower before it moves higher. And you have to understand these simple principles in order to trade these markets properly, okay? So anyways, just to give you guys a technical analysis update on XRP, okay? 72 cents came into fruition. I've mentioned on my Twitter that if 71 cents breaks and we get a bearish close below, 68 cents is not even, it's not even, a big move for XRP. We are definitely coming down if we break that 71 cent region, in my opinion, to that 55 cent psychological level to come and grab all the liquidity from all the moon boys who thought that this was the low here. You know how much money sits beneath these lows here, okay? A lot of over leveraged positions, a lot of liquidity in the market sits beneath these lows. And in my personal opinion, I tweeted out to you guys on my Twitter page, if you go back. And again, if anybody that wants to follow me on Twitter, my handle is Cypress Demanicore. My actual Twitter handle is C Demanicore. Okay, you guys can go ahead and follow me. But I tweeted out something I've learned in the 6 years being in this market is that you are going up against some of the smartest minds on this earth. Therefore, if something in this market seems too good to be true, most likely it is. Smart money knows your next move. Okay, you have to understand that. Please save yourselves. I cannot stress enough. We have over 4,000 followers on this YouTube page. People are waking up. People are actually starting to see that 90% of influencers on YouTube are rubbish, literally rubbish. If you're following anybody that does nothing except draw Fibonacci's, coffee cups on their charts, okay, has RSI, has volume, has all of these crappy indicators that don't mean anything. You guys have to understand that indicators are lagging. They show you lagging price data. Okay, you have to understand that 90% of these traders put this stuff on their charts because they read it on Baby Pips or they found it from some other influencer that told them that this is the magic tool, right? Don't do that. Please save yourselves. Again, if you're waking up, you're watching these YouTube videos, you've seen that literally we have not been wrong yet on any price predictions because we don't put out any unrealistic expectations from the market. That is, I'm not sitting here tooting my horn saying that we're, 100% accurate because that's unrealistic as well. But what I am trying and attempting to teach you all on this YouTube is that it's not hard to react to the market if you know technical analysis properly and you're not putting out unrealistic expectations in the market. I teach all of my students to go into the market head on with realistic expectations, and you will come out on top over somebody who has these unrealistic moonboy price predictions, okay? I also tweeted out the other day, last week, if you followed any moon boys telling you to buy XRP, this was last week around March 31st, the first week of April. If you had put $1,000 into XRP, you would have only bought 1,117 tokens of XRP. This is when XRP was hovering at around 85 to 86 cents. When I was covering XRP and telling you guys that we were going to break out of that consolidation, especially if XRP could not push above 85 cents. And then I also said, had you have waited for a drop in price, like I told my followers today, 1,000 XRP would have gotten you 1,428 tokens. LOL, I know for a fact these moon boys are in the red. Again, I'm not going to cover any moon boys right now because it's just, you guys are starting to see. Please, 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 please wake up, save yourselves the trouble, okay? Going over a little bit of Casper price action. I said on Twitter, the first targets I put out on Casper days ago have been met. I was telling you all that I was telling you all that 7.5 cent region was my first significant target area to accumulate more Casper tokens. Why was that? If we look at the price analysis based off the logic that I posted on Twitter and based off what the charts were telling us, we see these equal lows where this retail double bottom formation where we can imagine people were quote unquote buying this dip. Look at how the market makers forcefully push their way into this area because they know that retail traders are doing what? They are buying this dip. They are buying this in the form of retail support. Okay, support in this market does not exist. You have to understand that. Literally, if you think about the market as a living, breathing entity, okay, it does not know. The market itself does not know the definition of support. The market itself does not know the definition of resistance, nor does it know the definition of an order block or whatever it is that you're trading via technical analysis. All it knows over here to the right-hand side is these psychological levels. That's it, okay? Everything else in the market is rubbish. And you have to understand that once you see the market for that perspective, you stop seeing these bullish patterns and these bullish candlesticks and bearish candlesticks as intimidating. Okay. You start pricing your analysis in this market based off of logic. And logic says that in order for the market to go higher, it must first grab liquidity from lows. Same thing. Before the market goes lower, it must grab liquidity from highs, as you guys can see over here to the left-hand side. Before this market stemmed lower into 7.5 cents, it had to grab the liquidity above these highs. You can see here, look at this downtrend right here, this temporary downtrend. Everybody was selling here, okay? Then the market reversed, grab that liquidity from above this high, and then tanked to come and grab what? Lows. Where's the next target based off of ideology in the market that liquidity exists beneath lows? Underneath the 7.5 cent region, or if we pull back, underneath of this trendline liquidity, the 6.5 cent region is my next bearish target on Casper. Now that's not to say that these Caspers Now, that's not promised that these targets could come into fruition because the market could reverse from 7.5 cents. This is just logic in having a realistic expectation instead of buying at tops where 90% of people, I guarantee you, were buying Casper at 10 cents, which still long-term is a steal. Okay, don't get me wrong. Anything below 10 cents on Casper long-term, 2 to 3 years, maybe even 5 years from now, is a steal. Okay, if you actually want to see profits in your overall portfolio on a day-to-day basis, you must learn how to accumulate properly at lows, okay, at discounted prices, which I've tried and attempted to teach you guys. All right. So anyways, looking at this Casper article right here, I thought that this was very interesting. We see Casper coin price prediction. These I thought were extremely funny and interesting, mainly because, I mean, they space these out so much, and I think that they do that to just cover their ass. But we see here 2022 minimum price 18 cents, average price, maximum price 29 cents. I think that by the end of 2022, personally, we are going to surpass 29 cents way higher than that. Maybe anywhere in the realm of 50 cents to $1. That's not chucking out any Moonboy price predictions. I just think that there's a lot of liquidity above the 29 cent psychological level. I've been telling you guys that the 36 cent psychological level and the 46 cent psychological level is one of my first initial targets on Casper. All right. And we can see here that they're not predicting that price action until around 2024 to 2025. All right. I think that that's rubbish. Again, not financial advice. I think that that's going to happen way before that. In this next current alt season, I think that we're going to see Casper at around $1, maybe even to 85 cents. Okay. Long term. All right. These 2030, 2031 price predictions of anywhere between $3 to $5 definitely, in my opinion, are going to come into fruition. But I do think that we are going to see Casper pick up these price action targets way before 2030, 2031. All right. Again, that's not a Moonboy price prediction. Those are realistic price targets on Casper. If you're looking at the potential utility and use cases of Casper, I'm telling you all right now, Casper is a sleeping giant. Not a Moonboy here on Casper. Just looking at the price action on Casper, if we go over to the charts, okay, just think about it from a logical perspective in a investor's perspective. All right. If you're looking at the downside potential for Casper investing into this token, okay, from back when we were at around 5 cents, had you not bought at 5 cents, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, I don't know what to tell you. If I go all the way back, let's go all the way back. I'm on the lower time frame. That kind of looks similar to the price action over here that we caught in November. All right. But when we caught this move, pre-November, all right, it was kind of like October, November timeframe, right, where I told you guys, I'd mentioned to you all that we were building liquidity above these highs. We broke out again, proving the ideology that before the market goes lower, it must grab liquidity from highs. Look at this, grab liquidity from the highs and then dumped lower, okay, then trailed down, but only after it grabbed liquidity from highs. Well, when we reached these highs, we left behind liquidity above these highs. Once we break this 24 to 23 cent psychological level, I think that the next target on Casper is going to stem where? Based off of logic, above these highs. Okay, that's the next quote unquote resistance or area of liquidity in the market. So once we see price come and attack these areas, we can then react to the market. Why is that? Because we know that once the market grabs liquidity, it is going to have some type of reaction, whether it's a pullback or whether it's a bullish rally that pushes through that liquidity because it has the amount of momentum and liquidity to push through these levels. We will see and we will react to that once we get there, okay? But you need to make sure and you have to understand that when the market does go higher, it will pull back. It's not just going to go up for forever. So what I suggest that you all do, again, not financial advice, this is what I'm doing, okay? Once the market does surpass these certain psychological levels, 50 cents to $1, I'm going to be taking partials on Casper and accumulating more tokens on the pullbacks, okay? So that way I can manifest my capital properly and pump it back into the market at discounted prices, okay? Again, not financial advice. Where are we heading at on Casper in the near term future, okay? Let's look at price action on the lower time frame. This is the 4 hour. Let's jump down to the hourly and go over what we see on Casper as of right now. So on Casper, I'd mentioned to you guys that 7.5 cent region. That region has come into fruition. My buy limits have been targeted. I put about another $500 into Casper at 7.5 cents. I have another $1,000 waiting for Casper to get pumped into the market at 6.5 cents. If we break that 6.5 cent psychological level, in my personal opinion, we are going to come back down for the liquidity beneath the 5 cent region and tap anywhere into my initial bearish targets before we rejected that 5 cent psychological level. If you guys remember from previous YouTube videos, down into that 4.5 cent psychological level. Now, that is being very pessimistic. Do I think that the bottom is in for Casper? I think that this bullish rally that we had of around from 5 cents to around 10 cents of around 102% gains was a very significant bottom price for Casper. Am I being pessimistic by saying 4.5 cents psychological level? No, I think again, before the market does see a new alt season on coins like XRP, Casper, HBAR, XLM, XTC, all of these tokens that we're expecting massive rallies on in the future, need to grab liquidity from the lows. That's just my perspective, being in this market for quite some time now. I've been involved in cryptocurrency and forex for about 6 years now, profitably for 3 years consistently in a row, okay? What I've seen in the market is every single time before a nasty rally to the upside where price makes new all-time highs or even just gives a significant return on initial investments, the market always grabs liquidity from early buyers. Now, in my personal opinion, a lot of these altcoins are printing early buy formations in the form of trend lines, in the form of equal lows. Okay, so be mindful of all of these price levels, lower price levels, and looking at these lower price levels and having hopes that price comes into these lower levels there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, you would rather be prepared for lower price levels rather than have these high expectations on these altcoins and accidentally buy at these tops. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with pumping money into the market at these tops as long as you're divvying out your portfolio. Maybe you have, again, this isn't financial advice, maybe you have $500 to put into Casper. Well, was there anything wrong with splitting that money into halves, right? $250 at 10 cents and saving another $250 if price drops down into discounted regions. Again, dollar cost averaging into a cryptocurrency to build your portfolio. Learn how to do that, guys. I cannot stress enough that if you're just following these Moonboy price predictions, you are going to get burnt. Another thing that I tweeted out on the Twitter page, something that I want you all to kind of pay attention to. We see a lot of information surrounding the XRP SEC litigation. And I think that some things are going to come into fruition here in the near future. But again, I'm being pessimistic, or at least I don't know if I'm being pessimistic on this. But what we can see here is a lot of manipulation via price action. And I posted on my Twitter a couple hours ago, April 22nd, in the SEC versus Ripple case, parties to file proposed schedule for summary judgment. I'm betting money we will see some type of delay or some type of headline that says the SEC asks for more time. At this point, it's more honorable for them to just accept defeat. Okay, we see here them taking L's left and right. The SEC official had conflict of interest in Ripple and XRP lawsuit, according to Anti-Corruption Watchdog. An anti-corruption watchdog tracking the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission SEC legal battle with Ripple says there is evidence that a key SEC official knowingly had a conflict of interest during the initiation of the lawsuit. The SEC sued Ripple in December 2020. You already know that. In a press release, a nonprofit Empower Oversight says it received over 200 email records via a Freedom of Information Act request that shed light on conflict of interest within the SEC. Specifically regarding William Hinman, former director of the SEC's Division of Corporate Finance. Let me give you guys my personal opinion. Again, this is a personal opinion of this lawsuit. What I think is happening is in the United States, okay, They were trying to suppress overnight millionaires. Why? Because that disrupts the financial ecosystem. Imagine all the people that became overnight millionaires. Now, it's not a lot, okay, but it was a couple of 18, 19 to 20-year-olds, people that are under the age of 30 that became overnight millionaires and billionaires because of the Bitcoin surge that happened in the early 2000s, right? So what I personally think is happening, okay, is that you see that the rest of the world obviously understands that XRP is not a security, okay, and that it is a currency. Yet the United States is the only player that thinks that XRP is a security. What I think is that because of tax reasons and financial reasons, they are trying to suppress the price of XRP to stop people from becoming overnight millionaires. You have to understand that manipulation in this market is a thing. You don't think that for 1 second, the banking institutions, the private investors, the whales can manipulate price to give themselves discount to stop other people from getting rich and wealthy, then you're dead wrong. That is the case in this market. There is blackwater projects. There is pools of liquidity that you cannot see in this market. And you have to understand that, again, being open-minded and expanding your mindset to more information that you, again, will never have access to, but just understanding that it exists out there is something that you need to be mindful of. I think that this is all a hoax. I think that this was all planned, not only by the SEC, but by the elite head organization of Ripple itself. I think that this was all a plan for the long-term perspective, okay? Oh man, there's so much information that I got to give to you guys. I can't cover it all in this YouTube video breakdown. I hope that you all enjoyed this technical analysis coverage that I've been giving you guys on Casper, on XRP, on XLM, on HBAR. More price information to come. Make sure that you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Just giving you guys an update. So where could we head on Casper? We see a nice rejection of the 7.5 cent psychological level. In my personal opinion, let me expand this out. We need to see a break back above the 8 cent psychological level. And then once we see that, we need to see momentum and volume pick back up, and we need to come for the highs above the 8 to 9 cent psychological level, the 8.5, to 9 cent psychological level, and clear these highs and start to make significant higher highs and higher lows before we can confirm bullish price action on Casper. If this type of price action does not take place, expect a further drop down into 6.5 cents. Do not get psyched out. Make sure that you spread your capital out. Do not put it all into one position on whatever token that you're looking at. Again, not financial advice, but learn how to dollar cost average properly into a cryptocurrency instead of just putting all your money in at highs, okay? Save some money for if price does potentially drop down to lows, and if not, set yourself some buy stops above highs just in case you miss the dip buying opportunity, okay? Blessings to you guys all. Same thing with XRP. I'm looking and I've given you guys my bearish targets of anywhere between 68 to 55 cents. I think that that liquidity beneath 55 cents needs to get cleared. And if that does take place, then 48 cents is my initial first buy limit on XRP. Blessings to you guys all. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I hope that the analysis that I've been putting out to the general public has saved your portfolio at least a little bit. Nothing that I constitute as financial advice. This is all just what I am doing in the market and what it is that I provide to the CYPRX students. Anybody that is interested in learning how to properly read the charts via technical analysis, the link is in the description for the mentorship. Really do appreciate the love and the support. As always, you guys be cognizant, be aware. Please, please, please. Please save yourselves in this market. I will see you guys in the next video breakdown.